With a wicked stepmother and two jealous stepsisters, Cinderella has no chance to go to the royal ball. When her fairy godmother appears and magically transfers her reality into a dream come true, she meets the handsome Prince Charming at the ball, but she has to face her enraged stepmother and sisters when the spell disappears at midnight. When Prince Charming brought the glass shoe to Cinderella, they met again and lived happily ever after. In this scene, Cinderella shows up with her beautiful dress made by her mice friends. However, when her stepmother and her stepsisters see Cinderella's dress, they get really mad, and stepsisters start to distort the dress, saying that the materials were all theirs. When they finish, they leave and go to the party with their mom, and Cinderella cries and goes to her room. Our ethical issue is that it is unethical to value blood relation more than non-blood relation. In this scene where Cinderella's dress is being destroyed, we can clearly see that Cinderella is the good character who is very altruistic, and that her stepsisters and her stepmother are the bad characters who are very hedonistic.
So, by exploring the ethical issue, we can realize its implications on the characters. Specifically, it reflects on how Cinderella is treated and how it distinguishes between who are the good and evil in this movie. The ethical knowledge here is that Cinderella is altruistic because she values others' happiness more than her own, and she's selfless so doesn't take revenge for her family's unfair treatment. In this quote, it says, "Oh well, time to get to my chores. I'll see you in a little while then." So it explains how she never really speaks out against the stepmother and her sisters making her do all the chores. Her kind attitude and her optimistic views make her the good character in this movie. And Cinderella also uses deontology because she sees people as good or bad based on what they do. She's aware of the bad personalities of her sisters and her mother because of how they rip her dress and make her cry, whereas she's also aware of the godmother's good character because of how she provides her with a dress and a carriage for the ball, so Cinderella thanks her out of gratitude. The stepmother and sisters are hedonistic because they want maximum good for themselves and are extremely selfish, like in the clip as they rip her dress, so that Cinderella doesn't get the joy of going to the ball. And in the quote it says, "if you get all your chores done." So it kind of shows how their intention is for Cinderella to not go because they're imposing really time-consuming chores upon her. And they also show impartiality because they don't have a strong blood relation with her, so they treat her with contempt. Both of them, meaning Cinderella, the stepmothers and sisters, use non-naturalism because they use their intuition to make decisions. The stepsisters use intuition and being hedonistic because that's the kind of environment they grew up in. They were influenced by their mother's viewpoints, so the evil ideology got embedded in their personalities. Whereas Cinderella also uses intuition, but it has a good intention. She uses intuition to do the right thing, and she knows it's wrong to treat her stepfamily with disrespect, so her intuition tells her not to act the wrong way. And the arts convey this characterization by facial expressions and body language. The twins are always walking with a proud posture, and they're very strong-headed, and their facial expressions show their malicious characters because they're always complaining or frowning or surprised.
So from this ethical knowledge, we can conclude how remaining kind and thoughtful is necessary even when treated unfairly. It teaches us how to act appropriately like Cinderella because in the end she is rewarded for her kind character. The evidences for this is that Cinderella developed friendly relations even with animals for her good character. Also, she gets the help of a fairy godmother for her hardworking nature. And she's rewarded with the love from a prince for all the patience and kind nature she had throughout her life, which built her strong character.
So this leads us to our discussion question, which is, what are the consequences of being altruistic in situations when you have to sacrifice?